Hello, everyone. Welcome to Counsel India present the Psychology Talk Show. In this Psychology Talk Show, we talk about some deep insights about psychology. We talk to one of the real expert who is actually working on the field, and we try to understand the insights of their work so that you all can get benefited. And the purpose for this particular talk show is to spread the awareness related to the emotional well-being. So I would like to invite the guest of the day, psychologist Shweta Ahidwar. Shweta ji, welcome. Shweta is working from the past 7 to 8 years in this field and helping people out. So we would like to know the journey of psychologist Shweta from herself only. Shweta ji, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me at the show. So, about me, I started my journey in psychology from 2013 since I joined my graduation. But the thought of being a therapist or a counselor came into my mind when I was in class 10. That was the first time when I thought of that I want to be a psychologist. So, yes, I started with my journey from graduation. Being a commerce student, it was difficult to settle in, but I was very clear about my goal that this is something I want to do in my life. So yeah, it's that started that way. And then after that, I completed my graduation. I was blessed enough for getting an opportunity from Ministry of India, and I worked with Ministry of Women and Child Development. I was working in a project called One Stop Center, which specifically provides help to all the women and children who are going through any sort of violence. So it is the project which provide like multiple services under one roof, which include counseling services as well. So I worked there as a psychologist and a trauma counselor. So my job role was to make sure that whenever a woman who is going through something comes there for a counseling, I need to make sure that her mental health is intact. And if a child also come there, so I have to provide the same thing to the kid as well. After that, I decided to add some new things in my life and to have another experience in my life. Hence, I started with my PhD from Christ, and my PhD is in positive psychology and adolescent psychology. So, and then I recently, from past 8 9 months, I'm working with this company called We Awake You. It's a mental health organization working with different verticals in Pan India, but situated in Noida as of now. So with We Awake You, I head the operation and I also lead the clinic and I am a trainer at We Awake You. So this is a small rundown about me. Yeah.
Fantastic, Sweta. So many things you have done in the last 7 8 years. Wonderful, wonderful. So your area of expertise is counseling psychology, right? And then you said you are also pursuing psychology, PhD in the same domain. So we would like to understand your specialization in little bit detail because nowadays, there are a lot of psychological fields are coming up, like sports psychology, clinical psychology, organization psychology, forensic psychology. So we want to know what is your expertise area where you actually work.
Okay. So although my master's is in counseling, but my first job was around the relationships dynamics and family dynamics, and hence that become my forte. So my
Mhm.
expertise is in relationship, family dynamics, and with adolescent as it is my research area. Since and I ever started doing research, adolescent being my favorite population to work around. So these are the primary area I work with. And with that, yes, I have done certain trainings and certifications also. So I am a
Mhm.
hypnotherapist as well. I am a
Mhm.
graphologist. I
Mhm.
also help with the career guidance to the students or the adolescent or adults. I'm also a happiness coach and parenting expert and coach. So these are the other areas I have trained in my initial years, and I'm working with different, I would say, different parameters basically. So yeah, this way I help people to work on themselves, and yeah, this is about my work. Uh, style.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So. Your main core expertise area is relationship and family dynamics, right? So let's talk
Yes.
about it more in detail. But before that, I'm just curious, like, what inspired you to, choose this specific area of relationship and family dynamics?
Okay, so the first reason, as I mentioned, that I was in class 10th when I decided to be a psychologist. The first incident happened in my life, which I call it as a turning point of my life. There, the first thing I experienced was that the relationship between me and my parent. And
Hmm.
that was the point when I understood that if the dynamics, the communication in a relationship works wonderful, then you are already sorted in your life. सो दैट वाज द फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस जो मेरा खुद का था जिसकी वजह से मैंने इस चीज के बारे में ज्यादा मुझे इंटरेस्ट आया और मैंने पढ़ना शुरू किया और समझना शुरू किया एंड देन माय फर्स्ट जॉब आई वाज अबाउट टू फिनिश माय मास्टर्स व्हेन आई गॉट द जॉब सो अगेन एवरी डे आई यूज टू सी ऑलमोस्ट 10 to 15 केसेस जहाँ पे एक कपल आके अपने घर के झगड़ों के बारे में बता रहे हैं कि या तो उनको साथ रहना है या वो अलग हो जाना चाहते हैं एंड अगेन इन सब चीजों की वजह से बच्चों पे बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है if it's a
Hmm.
divorce when a couple have kids then it's directly impacting the kids more than the couple so again it came into my way that yes there is something which needs to work around and in indian culture there the family dynamics are very fragile but at the very time they are very important to work around also so hence I thought that if I have given chance twice to work around this area then why not so hence I started learning about it. My training happens around it. And to understand a parent's perspective or a couple's perspective, I did a specified training in parenting. To understand a child perspective, I keep on doing researches on that. My PhD is on adolescent. So that gave me more clarity about the adolescent and the children. And when we talk about the relationship, my hypnotherapy journey, I have done my 5 levels from ACA. So that also gave me a very different perspective and broadened my horizon that how dynamics in the relationship, just not the romantic but the family dynamics, can change the entire life of an individual. What they say, how they receive the information, how they communicate about it
Hmm.
they all can change the entire life. And hence, I came across to know something called transaction analysis, which we
Hmm.
use in relationship or or family dynamics. So yes, it got me more curious about it. This is something I like personally. So yes, hence I started working around this area.
Fantastic, fantastic story from where you started and why you choose this field. Great. So now, Ms. Shweta, we would like to understand some of the experiences, some of the difficult cases that you have handled. So, please share with us one of the difficult case that you have handled till now in your journey.
Okay, so I have two cases. I'll do the
Hmm.
first one from my first job. So it was like I was done with my first initial days after joining my job. I specifically remember the date. My joining was on
Hmm.
20th of December, and this is 30th December, one day to the new year. And
Hmm.
I saw a news. I was having dinner with my father, and I'm seeing a news that few approximately 52 girls were rescued from a madrasa in Lucknow,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
they were taken by the police and the ministry people. And I had
Hmm.
this, intuition that tomorrow I'm gonna meet these people, or
Hmm.
I have to work it out, or I will be working with them. And the
Hmm.
next day in 6 in the morning, I got a call that Shweta, we are at this location. We have 52 girls rescued with us, and they need to go through their counseling. First, at least they need to sit and talk with someone. So when I reached there, it's a room full of the 52 girls, and the teacher in the madrasa, he was abusing them in different manner, and the parents of these kids are not aware about what is happening there. So this 30th December, my day was going like this, and I received
Hmm.
another call because this project One Stop Center, we were working in collaboration with 181, which is Women Helpline, 1090, which is Women Power Line. And again, all the headquarters are in Lucknow, and I was posted in Lucknow. I received another call that there is a lady, and in UP government, the entire working happens in Hindi. So the call I received, it says that एक युवती हमें मिली है जिसको लेबर पेन हो रहा है और उसकी मम्मी उसे घर से बाहर नहीं जाने दे रही। सो
Hmm.
द प्रॉब्लम इज कि हमें देन एंड देयर जाके उसकी मदर को काउंसिल करके उनको समझाना है कि व्हाई शी नीड्स टू गो टू द हॉस्पिटल, शी इज इन लेबर पेन. So me with other my team members, we reached that place and we saw, and that was the first time in my job I had goosebumps. I saw a girl wearing a school uniform standing there and crying, and she was just 11 and a half, and she was having labor pain. So this
Okay.
case was of
Okay.
POXO, which is Prevention of Children from Sexual Offense. So these things were
Hmm.
already going on, and the mother,
Hmm.
she kept the child, the girl, house arrest so that the society is not knowing what is happening in their home. So
Hmm.
now again the family dynamics. Now the thing is, हम हमेशा देखते हैं कि mothers are usually very soft and compassionate about their kids, but here the mother herself kept the daughter in pain, and she is not letting
Hmm.
the daughter go to the hospital so that she can
Hmm.
be fine. And we had to explain it to her that why she needed to go to the hospital and everything. And it took us almost 1 hour to make her understand the situation. And
Hmm.
after the whole thing, once the girl reached the hospital, she delivered a baby boy and she was completely fine. But now we understand the psychology of the kid, the girl who is
Hmm.
just 11 and a half, delivering a baby, what is going on her,
Right.
and what is going, a lot of things she is feeling inside, but she cannot talk about it. The mother, she
Hmm.
knows everything, but she is restricting her to go and get the best help. So this was my first experience where I had goosebumps. जब मुझसे students पूछते हैं कि मैम कभी life में से goosebumps नहीं आए, I remember this case की नहीं. वो होता है, एक बार जरूर
Hmm.
होता है जब आपको लगता है कि
Hmm.
ये क्या देख लिया. So this was the case.
Hmm.
And the second case, which it happened five six
Hmm.
months back. So I
Hmm.
got a call
Before before
from a
before before we come
yeah.
to the second case,
Hmm.
Shweta ji, the case that you have shared right now, it definitely gave you the goosebump. But when we are listening this, so we are also, able to visualize that what has happened there. We are trying to understand the situation, and definitely, it's shocking, and it is giving us the goosebump right now while just listening that this also happened. This kind of cases are happening, right? And this is really amazing and great that psychologists like you who are working for this kind of problems, who are having experience in solving these kind of cases. So before we come to the second case of yours, um,
Mhm.
how did you solve, how did you help to get solved that case? I mean, how the problem got solved?
Okay. So once the girl was in hospital and delivery was done, and she like the doctor suggested to her to have rest for 2 or 3 days in the hospital itself. So after that, once she was back, first thing first, she was not ready to go back to her home. She didn't wanted to be with her mother. So we had
Hmm.
to have her a place for her. So we kept her in we have women shelter homes by government. So we kept her there and we started with her counseling procedure properly so that every alternative days or at least twice a week she is having her counseling session and I was working with her. Meanwhile, the child, the baby boy who was born, the boy was given to Kara. It's a government agency for the adoption because the girl was too young to take care of the baby, and the mother was completely against to keep baby with themselves. So this was the only option as per the government norms. We have to give it to
Hmm.
Kara so that they can take care of the baby, or the baby will go for adoption. So when I was doing the counseling of the girl, there were a number of factors. there was abuse involved in the case because it's a POXO case, so rape was done with her by one of the neighbor living nearby. And
Hmm.
the worst thing which gave her the nightmare was the family, how the family treated her. More than the
Hmm.
outsider, it was the family whose scars or whose words affected the child. Why I am referring her as a child because she was just still 11 and a half that time,
11.
2017 I'm referring
Right.
to. So hence the child.
Hmm.
And it was almost 6 months left when she will be a legally adolescent. But yeah. So when I was talking to her, I just try to understand that what happened. How did you communicated with your mom? मम्मी ने क्या आंसर दिया या घर में और किसने क्या आंसर दिया? So because उसके father नहीं थे, so basically mother was the head of the family, and then there is a brother also because they are coming from a lower socio-economic background, so उनके लिए चीजें already कम हो चुकी हैं, वो ज्यादा चीजें रिसीव नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, and then when they're going out for the help also because this girl went through this case, so the society nearby is also not very helping.
Hmm.
They are also have taunts कि आपकी लड़की तो ऐसी है. So again the
Hmm.
societal aspect is which is something we cannot work around, but yes, that impact the individual a lot. So it was a
Hmm.
tough time working with her in terms of when I asked her that she needs to start a new life. Then she used to have some or the other days she used to ask कि वो जो बच्चा था वो कहाँ गया. So now understanding
Hmm.
her part as a mother also, it feel like she understand that affection wala thing, that thread is still attached,
Hmm.
but we cannot help her out in that way. So we told her, we explained it to her that the child will be gone like for the adoption, and the child will be well taken care of. So उस चीज से she was very happy कि
Hmm.
जिस घर से जिस चीजों से मैं go through कर रही हूँ वो बच्चा go through नहीं करेगा. So she was happy with that part.
Hmm.
And then she wanted some time to revive and to start with her studies. So she was there in the shelter home for 3 months as per her wish. We started with her education again, and then she went back home and started her normal day-to-day life. But again, we used to like again for 6 months I was in touch. Used to have some or the
Hmm.
other, to take some follow-ups for how she's doing, how things are going at home. That so
Hmm.
a lot of details in it because it's a POXO case.
Hmm.
So case का वो कोर्ट का अलग प्रेशर है,
Hmm.
सोसाइटी का अलग प्रेशर और पेरेंट्स का और घर का अलग प्रेशर. So there are multiple things just a
Hmm.
11.5-year-old handling. So it was tough time for her, but yeah,
Right.
she came out and she came out as a brave girl, and yes, she's doing good now.
Very nice. Thank you so much for doing such, sharing such wonderful story of, we can say, the problem happened, but the solution is a success, which is really
Yes,
amazing, which
yes,
is really
yes.
good. Thank you so much for sharing this. Yes, Swetaji, would like to move forward for your second case, the tough case that
Okay.
you consider for yourself. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not actually a very tough case for me because I've seen cases like this, but this is something which made me remind about the again that if a person thought and if a person is clear that I want to change my life, then the person will be able to change my life. So this case gives me that reminder. So
Hmm.
this case was referred to me for the counseling from our psychiatrist, and they were on the medications, but the therapy and the counseling were required. So hence it came to me. So the first thing I got to know was that it's a couple and both of them have anger issues, extreme anger issues, and the anger issues go to an extent where they are having major fights at home, and the last fight they had that led to the fracture of the nose of the female.
Hmm.
So this fight went to that extent, and there are
Hmm.
kids at home who are watching all this. So
Okay.
finally, when the couple understood this fact and they were suggested that you need to go to therapy or you need to see a psychologist. So finally, they go to psychiatrist because in India it is easy to go to दवाई वाले डॉक्टर बिकॉज वो इजिली कन्वीनियंट होता है आप दवाई खा के सेटल हो सकते हो so they go to a psychiatrist and the
True.
psychiatrist explain this to them that कि दवाइयाँ आप खाओगे कुछ दिन ताकि आपके सिम्टम्स मैनेज हो जाए बट आपको अपने इमोशंस पे वर्क करना ही पड़ेगा दैट इज समथिंग आप जिसको डिस्कार्ड नहीं कर सकते या साइडलाइन नहीं कर सकते so finally this couple comes to me and they explain the situation and the good part about them because they are educated coming from a well to do family they understood that what mistake they did at home when they are fighting
Mm.
and the kids are watching them they understood that their mistake. And now the job is to keep them and make them understand कि आपकी गलती है एज अ हस्बैंड वाइफ बट वो गलतियां इसलिए नहीं हो रही क्योंकि आप हस्बैंड वाइफ हो वो गलतियां इसलिए हो रही क्योंकि आपके इंडिविजुअल फैक्टर्स बहुत अलग हैं.
Mm.
So again,
Okay.
I have to work on this case just not as couple but as an individual person also. So
Mm.
started with their couple cases where they both sit, talk what they are doing, what they are feeling, what the other make them like again first person कुछ कर रहा है तो second person को कैसा लग रहा है. And finally, I started with their
Mm.
individual sessions. And again, the story is way too different because they उनके जो खुद के individual
Mhm.
experiences हैं उन सबका जो बैगेज है वो कहीं ना कहीं शादी पे दिख रहा है या वो जो उनका
Mm.
रिलेशनशिप है उस पे दिख रहा है बिकॉज वो जो इनसिक्योरिटीज इंडिविजुअली वो लेके आए हैं अभी तक वो फाइनली सरफेस होके ऊपर दिखने लगे. सो दिस इज
Okay.
व्हाई आई सेड दैट इट्स अ रिमाइंडर. दिस केस मेड मी अंडरस्टैंड दैट इफ यू डिसाइड कि मुझे अपनी लाइफ बदलनी है रीजन कुछ भी हो सकता है. रीजन कुड बी योर किड्स, रीजन कुड बी कि घर में झगड़े कम हो जाएंगे, रीजन कुड बी कि हम बेटर लाइफ जीने लगेंगे बट रीजन
Mm.
एक होना ही चाहिए. सो फॉर देम
Right.
द रीजन वॉज देयर किड्स कि हम अपने
Mm.
बच्चों को इन सब चीजों में या इन चीजों को फेस करने के लिए नहीं छोड़ सकते. So when I'm
Okay.
talking about the individual cases, the husband he went through a difficult childhood because father was not little neglected toward the kids. So him being the eldest child of the house, he need to take care of everything. So उसका जो childhood experiences हैं वो बहुत ही different है. And the woman
Mm.
then she is coming out of a difficult relationship again because एक relationship already खराब हो चुका है. दूसरी शादी में आके हमने चीजों को वर्कआउट करने की कोशिश तो की है बट वो डाउट्स अभी भी गए नहीं है दिमाग से और जब तक वो डाउट्स
Mm.
जाएंगे नहीं आप नई चीजों के लिए
Mm.
जगह बना नहीं पाओगे. So I always
Mm.
give this example and the same example I give to them कि just imagine that you want to go for a shopping and you want new clothes for yourself but आपकी कबर्ड में कहीं जगह नहीं रखने के लिए कपड़ों को
Mm.
तो आप क्या करोगे. You
Right.
need to take out all the old clothes
Mm.
to make some space
Right.
and get the new clothes settled in. Similarly,
Mm.
जो हमारे एक्सपीरियंसेस है जो काम नहीं आ रहे हैं हमें उन एक्सपीरियंसेस को लेट गो करना पड़ेगा. लर्निंग जो लेनी है हम डेफिनेटली लेंगे बिकॉज लर्निंग्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर लाइफ बट उसको होल्ड ऑन करने की जरूरत नहीं.
Right.
हो सकता है कभी कोई ड्रेस बहुत पसंद आई हो बट अब वो फिट नहीं होती तो हम उसको रखे थोड़ी ना रहेंगे. We had our
Mm.
good pictures with that dress, absolutely perfect, but we need to let it go. So again, their session happened, and the best part was these clients were those like we all get. I think all the psychologists will be able to relate. When your client is so on time for their every session, you feel so good about yes, I'm doing something right. So this couple was that kind of a client, and they did their
Mm.
sessions and their follow-ups like I take because in my practice I always keep a follow-up for let's say to next 6 months so that if a little thing is also left we'll make sure that that is gone. So the last follow-up happened in last month and they are doing great. They are working together, working on their own business, and things are way more settled now. So, just not the one aspect, but the case was dealt with the dual thing that couple reasons are also sorted, and their
Hmm.
individual self are also healed. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Great. Thank you so much for sharing this, case study, this case, the success that you took, that you bring up in this case. It is really, really admirable. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this. Now, Shweta ji, I just want to know what are the common issues that are coming up in adolescence nowadays? What are the most frequent issues that are coming up in adolescence?
We go for adolescence. The first thing first, I'll start with, or I always quote Erickson over here, the fifth stage, identity versus role confusion. So, in Indian culture, when we talk about parenting, and as a parenting coach, what I have seen so far is that parents have this thing ki the moment child is trying to do something by themselves, initially parents will be very supportive that good, you are trying, आप बड़े हो गए आपको करना चाहिए. But the moment child is trying to take accountability of the whole thing, at the same time parent will be like कि आप इतने बड़े भी नहीं हो गए कि आप सब कुछ खुद कर लोगे. So that
Hmm.
actually role confusion happening at the adolescent. So
Hmm.
the recent, if I see the recent things which I've seen in adolescent is the first, there is a lot of communication barrier from both the ends. The kids are not able to explain themselves. The parents are not ready to listen to them. ऐसा नहीं कि पेरेंट्स सुनना नहीं चाहते, बट आई थिंक जब हम बात कर रहे हैं कि आप वो अडोलसेंट गो थ्रू करके ही आप अडल्ट बने हो, बट वो जो सिनारियोस थे वो इतने डिफरेंट हो चुके हैं कि पेरेंट्स शायद उस लेवल की अंडरस्टैंडिंग शायद वो लेके नहीं आ पा रहे हैं, या बच्चों के एंड से डिफिकल्टी हो रही है. लेट मी गिव यू वन एग्जांपल. सो हमारे
Hmm.
पेरेंट्स से अगर आप पूछोगे ना कि आप जब स्कूल जाते थे तो आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम्स होती थी, तो दे विल लाइक कि हम तो नदी पार करके स्कूल जाते थे, तुम्हें कैसे पता चलेगा, अब तो सब कुछ तुम्हें अवेलेबल हो गया है, राइट. बट द
Hmm.
स्टूडेंट हु इज यूजिंग मेट्रो और अ बस, public bus or a metro for 2 hours to reach college or school, where they are going through abuse sometime. So these are also hurdles for that child. आपके लिए अगर वो रिवर क्रॉस करना was a tough time, a child
Hmm.
who is taking public transport, sometimes they met abusers over there, they are trying to save themselves reaching the school, that is also equally difficult. This the scenario is different. आप बच्चों को ये
Hmm.
कह के डिसमिस नहीं कर सकते कि तुम्हारे लिए तो मेट्रो है, हमारे टाइम पे तो थी भी नहीं.
Hmm.
आपको ये समझना
Hmm.
पड़ेगा कि सिनेरियोज अभी भी डिफिकल्ट हैं, बट वो दूसरी तरीके से डिफिकल्ट
Right.
है. एंड
The time has changed, the
उसके बाद जब
difficulty
हम
has
बात कर रहे
changed.
हो, एग्जैक्टली, लाइक भले
Hmm.
हम एक डिफरेंट टाइम में आ चुके हैं बट प्रॉब्लम्स अभी भी हैं. बट I don't know why it is difficult for parents sometimes to understand कि just because आप उस चीज को नहीं देख पा रहे हो या वो आपको
Hmm.
difficult नहीं लग रही है, because there is another thing in Indian culture what I have seen in my first job itself. The moment a child will
Hmm.
talk to the parent कि मैं जब स्कूल जाता हूँ मुझे प्रॉब्लम होती है, तो पेरेंट उस प्रॉब्लम को टैकल नहीं करेंगे, वो बच्चे को उस जगह से हटा देंगे कि तुम्हें उस जगह जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. So that is again something which create problem. So apart from communication is first thing, which adolescent having difficulty big time. The other thing is adjustability with the new things, because peer pressure चीजों के लिए अब इतना ज्यादा बढ़ चुका है कि वो चीजों को मैच अप ही नहीं कर पा रहे. So
Hmm.
that's the second thing, and the third thing, the dynamics are changing in relationship with the parents
Hmm.
and there's in surrounding. They are giving second and third thought to the kids ki actually kya karna hai. The kind of relationship dynamics
Hmm.
has changed in past 2 years. Like I was not new. Like in the last class, one of my student told me, ki, "Ma'am, there is a weekend relationship also," and I was blank
Hmm.
to listen to that. Ki okay, ऐसा भी कुछ है. So for Gen Zs and millennials, things are way too different, and the current generation who is in the adolescent, for them things are going
Hmm.
haywire like anything. So
Hmm. Yeah.
These are three major things which are happening with them. But yeah, there are many more to that. First thing, the
Mm.
parent and the child, they need to understand that communication is important. Like, if you know the transaction analysis में there are three ego states. The adult one is something जहाँ पे हम actually आगे काम करते हैं, because both the parties are coming on the equal end and actually talking about things, just not blaming कि तुमने ये नहीं किया, तुमने नहीं किया. They ask question and they get the answers. So first they need to understand. Parents need to give the child this chance to explain what is happening, why they feel so, and what are their expectations. In a similar way, the child need to understand that not everything they expect will come on the table.
Mm.
Sometimes, again, parents का होता है कि जब तक आप बताओगे नहीं कि what is happening at home actually, बच्चा unnecessary डिमांड करता रहेगा, क्योंकि उसके लिए तो सब एकदम क्लियर पिक्चर दिख रही है ना, उसके लिए घर में
Mm.
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. और फिर जब वो कुछ
Mm.
अननेसेसरी डिमांड करता है तो आप बोलते हो कि बच्चे तो हमारी बात समझते नहीं. एक्सप्लेन देम, गिव देम एटलीस्ट सम क्लैरिटी दैट व्हाट
Mm.
काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशन यू वांट और यू हैव विद द चाइल्ड, और टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट दे कैन हेल्प यू. बिकॉज ऐसा नहीं है कि बच्चे हेल्प नहीं करते. आई हैव सीन अ
Mm.
डॉल्फिन, जब मेरे पास वो काउंसलिंग के लिए आए हैं कि मैम आई हैव दिस फियर कि अगर कल को मुझे कुछ हो जाता है या मेरी मॉम डैड को कुछ हो जाता है तो मैं कैसे रहूंगा. उनके भी अपने बहुत ही ट्रिमेंडस डार्क फियर्स हैं, बट वो बात नहीं कर पाते उन बारे में. तो
Mm.
पेरेंट्स को पर्सपेक्टिव भी समझने के लिए दे नीड टू
Mm.
एक्चुअली हैव अ ओपन माइंड टू लिसन
Open
व्हाट द
mind,
चाइल्ड
open
से.
conversations. Yeah.
या एंड इफ दे फील कि देयर इज अ डिफिकल्टी, वो नहीं कर सकते,
Mm.
देन दे कैन डेफिनेटली गो फॉर अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट टू बी अ
Right.
person who can help them to understand each other's perspective.
Right.
So
Right.
this
True.
is the
True.
easiest thing which can be done right now.
Mm. Oh, great. Fantastic. Shwetaji, my next question from you is related to the relationships, because you have been doing a lot of work in solving in relationship problem and challenges too. So what are
Hmm.
the common problems that are coming up in the maintaining the relationships?
Okay. So first, क्योंकि जब किसी भी चीज मतलब आई थिंक दिस इज माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग फ्रॉम पास्ट 3 years, जब से मैं ज्यादा इस चीज पे स्टडी कर रही हूँ, दैट जब
Hmm.
कोई भी चीज ना बहुत अति में आपको मिल जाती है या अवेलेबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा होती है, तो
Hmm.
आप उस चीज की इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं समझते. सो दिस
Hmm.
इज व्हाट हैपनिंग करेंटली, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि अगर ये
Hmm.
रिलेशनशिप खत्म होता है तो देयर
Hmm.
इज अनदर पर्सन अवेलेबल फॉर मी. सो हेंस
Hmm.
जो एक इम्पोर्टेंस इंसान पहले देता था एक रिश्ते को बनाने में,
Hmm.
बचाने में,
Hmm.
काम करने में,
Hmm.
वो सब
Hmm.
कुछ खत्म हो चुका है. सो नाउ
Hmm.
पीपल आर नॉट बॉदर्ड इनफ कि अगर ब्रेकअप हो जाता है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या ही होगा, दूसरी तो मिल ही जाएगी. फ्रेंड्स आर सेइंग द
Hmm.
सेम थिंग, सोशल मीडिया इज आल्सो सेइंग द सेम थिंग कि अगर वो
Hmm.
ये चीजें नहीं करता, इफ दीज द पर्सन हैव दीज रेड फ्लैग्स, यू नीड टू लीव दैट पर्सन.
Hmm.
व्हाई?
Yeah.
अगर सिर्फ छोड़ देना ही ऑप्शन होता, तब तो फिर हम कभी चीजों के साथ बैठते ही नहीं ना.
Hmm.
सो आई, एंड अगेन दिस इज माय पर्सनल बिलीफ, आई विल से दैट छोड़ देना इज ऑलवेज नॉट एन ऑप्शन. यू कैन ऑलवेज
Hmm.
चेक कि पॉसिबिलिटीज क्या है
Hmm.
या क्या चीजों पे वर्क हो सकता है कि नहीं. Two
Hmm.
individuals, they need to sit with each other and understand each other. Just not कि तुम्हारी क्या फेवरेट कलर है या तुम्हें कौन सी मूवी पसंद है, but let's
Hmm.
talk about the serious stuff. What you felt and how was your childhood? What difficulties you had? How was your relationship with your parents? Because
Hmm.
currently, so yes, day before yesterday, there's a discussion happening among my interns, and the kids were like कि मैम ये जो रिसेंट केसेस चल रहे हैं ना अभी, आपका इस पे क्या कहना है. सब बोल रहे हैं कि मेंस मेंटल हेल्थ नीड्स टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ. व्हाट
Hmm.
डू यू थिंक? मैंने,
Hmm.
एंड सी, बिकॉज आई एम कमिंग फ्रॉम एक्सपीरियंस वेयर आई वर्क विद वुमेन्स डिपार्टमेंट.
Hmm.
सो मैंने उनको पहले डिस्क्लेमर दिया कि सुनना पहले पूरी मेरी बात, एंड आई एम गिविंग द
Hmm.
सेम डिस्क्लेमर हियर कि लिसन टू व्हाट आई एम सेइंग एंड देन कम अप विद
Hmm.
योर ओपिनियंस. एंड अगेन दिस इज माय पर्सनल व्यू.
Hmm.
द फर्स्ट थिंग, ऐसा नहीं है कि प्रॉब्लम्स पहले नहीं थी, या ऐसा नहीं है कि आदमी पहले प्रॉब्लम में नहीं था, आदमी पहले भी
Okay.
प्रॉब्लम में होता था।
Hmm.
जब डायल 100 शुरू हुआ था, लाइक 112 द इमरजेंसी नंबर, इनिशियली इट वाज नोन एज डायल 100. So I
Hmm.
have given training to their PRV people also. So when it
Hmm.
started, they used to get calls of male stating that हमारी वाइफ हमसे ये मतलब वो हमें मेंटली अब्यूज करती है, बट हम कहाँ पे शिकायत करेंगे हमें नहीं पता।
Hmm.
ठीक है, पहले वो कॉल्स तक सीमित था, अब वो दिख रहा है। बट इक्वली वुमेन्स के साथ ये चीजें बहुत टाइम से होती चली आ रही हैं। They have been
Hmm.
tortured, they have been killed because of dowry, sometimes for some other reason, because sometimes some stranger did something, but it keeps on happening. So it's not like कि आदमी के साथ गलत हो रहा है या औरतों के साथ गलत हो रहा है,
Hmm.
एक्चुअली ह्यूमैनिटी के साथ गलत हो रहा है। सो द ह्यूमन जब वो अपनी ह्यूमैनिटी छोड़ के कुछ करता है, उस टाइम पे ही इज
Hmm.
डूइंग रॉन्ग विद द अदर पर्सन। सो
Hmm.
आदमी या औरत की गलत नहीं है, the person who is
Hmm.
doing wrong is actually wrong or doing the mistake.
Hmm.
So what we can do here to work it out, first
Hmm. Hmm.
find people जो एक्चुअली ठहरने के लिए आपके साथ आते हो, not someone who is looking for a situationship or something like कि चलो जब तक देखा जाएगा जब तक चीजें चल रही हैं। No, find people who are actually interested in you and work
Hmm.
out on things.
Hmm.
Talk about your childhood traumas, talk about your adolescence, tell each other and make understand each other that how you felt and how you work that out. अगर वर्कआउट नहीं हुआ है, then go and find help.
Hmm.
Premarital counseling is not very famous in India, but it is important in India now.
Right.
So when you are taking help from a professional, automatically things will be sorted for you,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
And when things are sorted for you, you don't have to change partners. You don't have to run from one relationship to another. You are already sorted.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So अगर मैं if I have to give you in points that what are the problem right these days, again, understanding oneself is the first problem. हमें खुद नहीं पता हमें लाइफ से क्या चाहिए, जो
Right.
लोग नहीं समझते। एंड दे आर
Hmm.
लाइक कि मतलब आप अगर लोगों से पूछोगे ना व्हाट इज योर गो टू फूड, 10 में से सिर्फ 4 लोग ही जब आंसर दे पाएंगे कि दिस इज माय गो टू फूड, बिकॉज उतनी
Hmm.
अवेयरनेस वो रखते हैं अपने पास।
Hmm.
जो 6 लोग जवाब नहीं दे पा रहे हैं वो किसी चीज के लिए जवाब नहीं दे पाएंगे, और उस 6 में से भी अगर 3 आदमी है ना तो जवाब देंगे जो मिलता है वो खा लेता है। व्हाट इज इट? सो जो इसीलिए आपका जब आप बेसिक चीजों के लिए इम्पोर्टेंस या टाइम और ध्यान नहीं निकालते हो, तो आपको लगता है कि रिलेशनशिप भी वैसे ही चलते हैं।
Hmm.
नहीं, रिलेशनशिप को चलाने के लिए आपके पास वक्त होना चाहिए, ठहराव होना चाहिए और पेशेंस होना चाहिए, जो आजकल आई थिंक हम खोते जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि लाइफ इतनी
Right.
फास्ट फॉरवर्ड हो चुकी है कि हमें सेम चीज लगती है कि ठीक है बात करेगी तो करेगी, समझेगी तो समझेगी, नहीं तो जाने दो।
Hmm.
सो दिस इज व्हाट हैपनिंग दीस डेज। सो इक्वल क्वेश्चंस होते हैं फ्रॉम मेन एंड वुमेन कि मैम सारे आदमी एक
Hmm.
जैसे होते हैं? नो। सारी औरतें एक जैसी होती है? नो। इट्स दी जस्ट मतलब आई थिंक हमारे जो डीमंस है ना, इनर डीमंस, आई 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 से दिस
Hmm.
थिंग दैट हमारे इनर डीमंस इतने ज्यादा हमें कभी कभी ओवर पावर कर लेते हैं कि हम
Hmm.
एक्चुअली समझ नहीं पाते कि जरूरत किन चीजों की है या किन चीजों पे वर्क करने की जरूरत है, एंड हेंस देयर आर प्रॉब्लम्स। द डे
Hmm.
individual will start working on themselves before going out to see a partner, you will be in a more sorted place. So
Okay.
first,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. So fantastic to know about the problems and how we can solve them related to the relationship. One thing that you have shared कि एक कंफ्यूजन है आजकल के जो लोगों को, जेंजी को स्पेशली कंफ्यूजन ये है कि कब छोड़ना है और कब रहना है, कब कोशिश करते रहना है। वहां पर देयर इज कंफ्यूजन लोगों को ना, कहाँ
Mm-hmm.
गिव अप कर देना है, कहाँ तक ट्राई करना है। सो हाउ टू डिसाइड? यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट कि इंटरनेट पे लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, अलग आजकल तो एआई आ गया है, वो 1 मिनट में आपको पूरा रिसर्च करके बता देगा कि किस तरीके का आर्टिकल कहाँ कैसे लिखे हुए हैं। तो व्हाट इज द थिन लाइन कि यहाँ कोशिश करते रहो अभी और यहाँ आपको अभी हट जाना चाहिए रिलेशनशिप में?
Okay, so कोशिश आई बिलीव तब करनी चाहिए जब आपको समझ में आ रहा हो या आपको पता हो कि सामने वाला भी कोशिश कर रहा है. So when
ओके.
two people are trying to work out on one thing, it will be worked out. हो
हम्म.
सकता है टाइम लगे, 5 दिन 10 दिन या 15 दिन भी लग सकते हैं, बट वो काम हो
हम्म.
जाएगा क्योंकि both the people are trying to work it out.
हम्म.
But the moment it's the one person who is just trying to work it out, I think वो एक पॉइंट है जहाँ पे आपको चीजों को छोड़ देना चाहिए, क्योंकि आप कितना भी कह लो कि जो हम मैस्कुलिनिटी और फेमिनिटी की बात करते हैं, इट्स अ इट्स अ जॉब विच इज डन बाय बोथ टुगेदर. आप सिर्फ मैस्कुलिनिटी लेके सिर्फ सारे काम खुद करके चीजों को नहीं बचा पाओगे. आप सिर्फ एक डिवाइन फेमिनाइन होके सारी चीजों को करके रिलेशनशिप को नहीं बचा पाओगे. You need to
हम्म.
have people around you who are actually willing to put efforts with you in the relationship and for relationship. अगर
हम्म.
इस तरह के लोग हैं आपके पास, डेफिनेटली आप टाइम दो चीजों को. अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके दोनों पार्टी इंटरेस्टेड है, वर्क करना चाहती है, बट आपको सोल्यूशंस नहीं मिल रहे, देन गो एंड फाइंड सोल्यूशन आउटसाइड. जरूरी नहीं
हम्म.
है कि सारी चीजों का सोल्यूशन घर पे ही हो. मतलब आप हो सकता है आपको घर में टैप फिक्स करना आता हो, बट अगर वो नहीं फिक्स हो रहा है तो आप प्लम्बर को लेके आते हो, एक्सपर्ट है ना वो अपने काम का. सो
हम्म.
अगर वो चीजें फिक्स आउट नहीं हो पा रही, कम्युनिकेशन में डिफिकल्टी है, देन गो टू अ काउंसलर, गो टू अ रिलेशनशिप कोच, गो टू अ थेरेपिस्ट एंड वर्क इट आउट. But the
हम्म.
moment you feel कि सामने वाला person is not equally interested and invested in the relationship, then leave that. I
हम्म.
always say that because आप एक किस एक्सटेंट तक जाके चीजों को संभालोगे अकेले. एक टाइम पे आप बर्नआउट में जाओगे, एक टाइम पे आप जीरो एनर्जी के साथ रिलेशनशिप को खींच के लेके जाओगे, एंड फिर आप बोलोगे कि औरतें तो ऐसी होती हैं, आदमी तो ऐसे ही होते हैं. उससे बेटर है
हम्म.
एनर्जी को सेव करो और वहां से
हम्म.
निकल जाओ. So it's not
राइट.
about the red flags and green flags. The only thing which lead a relationship in a successful direction is the efforts which both the party puts together.
राइट. तो आपका कहना है कि जब दोनों ही एफर्ट लगा रहे हों, तब तक उनको चीजों को ठीक करने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए. और वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आपसे अगर चीजें ठीक नहीं हो रही हैं, गो एंड सीक हेल्प. देयर आर पीपल अवेलेबल देयर. देयर आर पीपल who can help you in fixing up the problems related to the relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, great, fantastic. So now, uh, Sweta ji, I want to ask, what are the taboo topics still you think in our industry are? What are the taboo topics?
Um, First thing, parents को counseling की जरूरत नहीं है.
पेरेंट्स को काउंसलिंग की जरूरत नहीं है. अच्छा.
Yeah, parents, Indian parents believe कि अगर वो बच्चे पैदा कर सकते हैं तो बच्चों को बड़ा भी कर सकते हैं.
हम्म.
Because in my initial job, I heard it like 50 times कि जब तुम माँ बनोगी तुम्हें पता चलेगा कितना डिफिकल्ट होता है बच्चों को पैदा करना.
राइट.
लाइक ठीक है, जब
हम्म.
मैं उस स्टेज में पहुंचूंगी, आई विल मेक श्योर दैट माय चाइल्ड, whenever there's a problem, he should be like कि I need to go my mom, not to a stranger. So
हम्म.
I'll make sure that it happens. So
हम्म.
yes, parents को इंडिया में लगता है कि, and I am happy that I was able to work it out at my home. So अगर कोई बोलता है कि पेरेंट्स नहीं सुनते, I have changed my parents at the age they shifted their mindset at the age of जब लोग बहुत ही rigid होते हैं, at around I think my dad and mom are around 50s, but they are very welcoming. अगर उनको कोई कभी किसी ने पूछा कि क्या करना चाहिए, they are like go for counseling.
हम्म.
So it's not like कि पेरेंट्स सुनते नहीं है, you just need to talk to them and
हम्म.
talk
हम्म.
not just your perspective, understand their perspective as well. Because अगर वो
राइट.
कुछ कोई बात आपको समझाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, आप उसको समझ के फिर उसका इक्वल उस पे का आंसर दोगे ना, तो वो इक्वल काइंड ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन हो रहा है. वही जो मैंने बोला ना कि आप अडल्ट में आके ट्रांजैक्शनल एनालिसिस जब बात करते हो ना, कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर बच्चा बोल रहा है कि मुझे ये चीज चाहिए, तो पेरेंट्स को पहला क्वेश्चन इज नॉट सेइंग कि नहीं ये नहीं मिलेगा, दे नीड टू आस्क क्वेश्चन कि क्यों चाहिए,
हम्म.
इसकी जरूरत क्यों है अभी. एंड अगर बच्चे के पास
हम्म.
आंसर नहीं है,
हम्म.
या अगर उसके पास आंसर ऐसा आता है कि क्योंकि मेरे बाकी दोस्तों के पास है, आई वुड से नहीं देना चाहिए. फर्स्ट द
हम्म.
चाइल्ड नीड्स टू अंडरस्टैंड की जरूरत क्यों है उस चीज की.
हम्म
जेन्युइनली जरूरत है, देन इट्स पेरेंट्स जॉब टू कंप्लीट दैट। बट अगर बच्चा सिर्फ इसलिए कोई चीज की डिमांड कर रहा है क्योंकि दोस्तों के पास है, देन आपको बच्चे को सिखाने की जरूरत है कि कहाँ पे हमें किस चीज को कितना प्रायोरिटी देना है। एंड अगेन दैट हैपन एट home only. And the recent thing I have heard from teachers that the parents think it's a school job to make
हम्म
sure that the kids learn all the values and beliefs. No, it's parents' job to make the child learn about the values.
हम्म
And the third thing, or the third taboo I still get is that there is when we talk about relationship, कि मतलब प्री मैरिटल रिलेशनशिप और प्री मैरिटल काउंसलिंग तो बहुत दूर है अभी इंडिया में। आई होप जल्दी आ जाए, बट स्टिल पीपल फील दैट इट्स द लाइक आपको फैमिली के स्टैंडर्ड्स में लाने की जरूरत है या बैकग्राउंड चेक करने की जरूरत है इन इंडिया टू गेट अ पर्सन मैरिड। नो, यू नीड टू talk about your own self and understand two individual need to understand themselves more than
हम्म
family कितना understand करते हैं, क्योंकि ये
हम्म
रिश्ता है उन दो लोगों को आगे लेके जाने का काम है। फैमिलीज यस उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन होता है, बट ये रिश्ता आगे कैसे जाएगा, अच्छा जाएगा बुरा जाएगा,
हम्म
ये
हम्म
उन दो इंसानों पे डिपेंड करता है। सो मोर देन फैमिली बैकग्राउंड कैसा है, कितना रिच है, कितने क्या सोशल सर्कल है, मोर देन दैट गिव इम्पोर्टेंस कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ पर्सन द सामने वाला इंसान इज, एंड यू
हम्म
विल बी वे मोर सॉर्टेड।
राइट राइट। नहीं, आपने बिल्कुल पिन पॉइंट कर दिया है श्वेता जी। जितनी भी आप देखो, बहुत सारा, बहुत ज्यादा आज की डेट में भी इतनी अवेयरनेस होने के बावजूद भी ऐसा है, पीपल आर फर्स्ट मैचिंग द स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ द फैमिली। फैमिलीज ठीक लगती हैं तो जो इंडिविजुअल्स हैं उनको फिर मिलाने की कोशिश करी जाती है। इट शुड बी अदर वे
राइट राइट।
राउंड। पहले जिन लोगों को आपस में अपना रिश्ता निभाना है उनको अपनी इमोशनल कंपैटिबिलिटी चेक करनी चाहिए। इमोशनल, मेंटल, स्पिरिचुअल, फिजिकल पिक्चर चेक करना चाहिए, फिर उसके बाद फैमिलीज का आता है। इट्स रियली वंडरफुल एंड थैंक यू फॉर शेयरिंग दिस। सो नाउ Sweta ji, we have come up to the last round of this talk show, which is the rapid fire round. Okay, so in this
Okay.
rapid fire round, you you will not get time to think. Just whatever comes to your mind, say that. All right.
All right. All right.
Are you ready for it?
Yes, I'm ready for this rapid fire round.
Great. So, in one word, what inspired you to become a psychologist?
My adolescent.
Great. One common problem clients comes with.
मैम समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या करना है।
Okay. Biggest myth about counseling.
It's a easy job.
It's a easy job.
Easy job for the
Okay.
client, for both the parties.
Okay. Okay. Great. So therapy in one word.
Healing.
Great. What is your favorite part of being a psychologist?
Human experiences.
Awesome. One thing you do daily for your mental health.
5 minutes breathing exercises.
Okay. Great. Journaling or meditation? What works better?
Whatever is your comfort. For me,
Okay.
meditation works better, but your comfort, the individual's comfort matters.
Okay. Is it okay to cry in therapy?
Definitely, it's a must to cry in
Okay.
therapy.
Great. So one mental health tip for our audience today.
First, be in touch. There are three actually. First, be in
Hmm.
touch with your own self.
Okay.
अंडरस्टैंड योर सेल्फ।
Hmm.
बेसिक से बेसिक चीजें, ठंडा पानी पसंद आता है या नॉर्मल, वो भी पता होना चाहिए।
Hmm.
ठीक, इतने बेसिक में आपको पता होना चाहिए। मतलब मेरे ऑफिस में सबको पता है कि मैम को ना ठंडा पसंद है ना एकदम नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर, उनको मिडिल में मिक्स करके उनका पानी हो जाएगा। तो
Hmm.
आपको अपने बारे में इतनी क्लैरिटी जब होने लगेगी तो लोगों को होने लगेगी।
Hmm.
सेकेंड, द मोमेंट यू फील लाइक कोई भी चीज अगर 24 घंटे में सॉल्व नहीं होती यहाँ, नेक्स्ट 48 आवर्स में उसका सोल्यूशन ढूंढो बाहर। सेकेंड थिंग।
Hmm. Very
थर्ड,
nice.
Uh, Relationships are important. So start with oneself. इधर से शुरू करो, next everything will be taken care of. So these three
Fantastic.
things.
Great tips for our audience. Thank you so much. Last question of the rapid fire round. If not psychology, what would you be doing right now?
I would be a trainer. I'm doing that right currently. I'm a trainer. Yeah.
Fantastic, Swetaji. It was really a wonderful conversation with you. We got a lot of insights about your work, how you solving problems, and what kind of problems are there. And it actually giving more awareness to the people who are watching this talk show. Thank you so much. Thank you again. And we would like to do some more talk shows with you in future. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. Looking
Thank you.
forward to have more insightful sessions.